It's a ridiculously bad time in the world of Magic the Gathering right now. People are panic selling Magic cards to the point where stores are refusing to buy them. On top of that, Wizards of the Coast has just released a whole bunch of products that have a whole bunch of problems. Surprise!
Magic. I am a wizard! History. I'm an old wizard! The Magic Historian. My bones hurt.
Greetings! Owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles, my friends! I hope the day finds you well because we have gathered for a mega chonk installment of Mega Magic News. There is so much going on that I literally can't keep up. I have a whole list of things for us to discuss, and I guarantee you that's not even all the news that is out there right now. I knew one day Wizards of the Coast was going to come for me and try and destroy me, but I never thought it would be by burying me under a crazy amount of news to the point where I just suffocated from it. So let us dive in and start from the top of the list. Top of the list, the Rules Committee for Commander has confirmed that Magic 30th Anniversary cards will not be considered Commander legal. But in the same statement, essentially says, have your Rule Zero conversation with your play group, which is really just the whole wink and nod. Hey, if you want to use them like you're using the gold board, you can't use them in official Commander tournaments, but how many of those are really popping off compared to how many people are playing with Commander? It's really just kind of a non-statement, it feels like. But either way, it's officially on the board now that the Magic 30 Anniversary stuff will not be considered legal in Commander, if you were wondering. Now, obviously, this 30 Anniversary stuff also ties in to the market panic. We will get to that in a moment. I'm just going down the list so I don't miss anything because there's so much news and I keep missing things in videos. So, next item on the list, be on the lookout for Infinity packs that don't have rares. We saw this already with Dominaria United where there were a bunch of packs that were missing rares. I'm being told the same thing about Infinity here, so keep your eyes out on that. I'm actually going to an Infinity event tonight, so I'm hoping there won't be any problems that way. And when I opened my Infinity today over on my other channel, Hatcher, I did not encounter any problems there. So if you want to check that out, I'll leave a link at the end of this video. Now, next item on the list is the new packaging for Secret Layers. The envelopes that the cards are coming in seem to have a fatal flaw where certain times cards are actually getting trapped in the envelope and bent over. So there are multiple pictures floating around right now showing different variations of, these cards got caught in the press or whatever. So I haven't seen anything like that happening with previous versions of Secret Layers. I don't know if Wizards is going to, as a result, return to like the thicker Secret Layer boxes, not the big ones, but the thicker mid-level ones that they still use for special crossovers like the Arcane Secret Layer. It remains to be seen whether the cost to replace these Secret Layers, like in terms of the damaged ones, exceeds the cost they save by shipping them in those little envelopes, right? Because obviously there is a lot of packaging involved in Secret Layer for a handful of cards. Now, the next item on the list is the market craziness. So, Magic's 30th anniversary, the $1,000 for 4 packs of what are essentially proxy, non-Commander legal cards that will totally be played in Commander with the dual lands. Let's be real. People are definitely going to use this stuff in Commander. We know they already use the collector edition. We know they already use the gold bordered stuff. So, what's happened is this has caused a panic. People are stampeding to sell their cards in waves to the point where stores are suspending portions of their buy lists in response. Now, you don't normally see this. This is not normal market function. These stores I'm talking about are large online institutions that will purchase in one go from you. They will say, we will buy up to 100 copies of this card. You can literally walk up with like, I would like to sell you this $50 card. And they're like, we'll take 100 off you, no problem, right? That tends to be the way these places operate. Well, all of a sudden, they're shuttering. Boom, boom, boom. So what's going on? It's a collector's edition flood. If you're not aware of the olden days of Magic, back at the very beginning, there was a product that almost nobody liked called Collector's Edition. It was like $50 and you got one of every card from Alpha. But here's the catch. You couldn't play with them. They weren't tournament legal. They had weird square borders, and they also had golden backs on the card. So on the front, they just looked like normal Magic cards with square borders. On the back, they had the golden border, and nobody really liked them. Nobody played with them. Nobody would let you play with them, right? People bought those collector sets and tried to use them as cards or proxies, but at the very beginning of Magic, people weren't accepting of that. They would let you use a Plains as a proxy where you had written something on it, but the collector's edition stuff, it didn't gain traction with most people. So it was just kind of a whatever product. But at some point, and I don't know when, you'd have to go back and do market tracking or ask somebody who pays attention to the financial aspects. I don't know when the shift happened, but Collector's Edition and gold bordered cards started to become played by people. Like Collector's Edition went up in value first because of scammers, because scammers realized, yo, if I go and get this Collector's Edition card, I take toenail clippers, trim, take the corners off, round them down to look like the old cards, and then put that basically an old Magic back from an old card onto this, take off the collector's back, voila, you have a new real Magic card. Now, they don't stand up to like full-on scrutiny, but those rebacks were a genuine scourge. In fact, I got ripped off once by a Chaos Orb, a beta Chaos Orb reback. I let my excitement get the better of me. I did a trade that was very fair, so there was no like, oh, I gotta be aware I'm getting, oh, give me too good a deal. Like the scammer knew what he was doing. But eventually I got home, the warning bell started to sound in my head where I went, you know what, the front of it's beautiful, but why are all the corners so beat? And then I went, okay, is this a reback? Do I do this? Do I do this? And basically, if you guys don't know what the test is for a reback, it's when you take a Magic card and you just bend it end to end. So it's like in the middle, right? Now, normal Magic cards will just bend like nothing. A reback will snap like a lightning crack across the card. And that's exactly what happened. That was brutal. So what happened as a result of those rebacks is it cut off some of the supply of these old school collector editions. Plus, they became more acceptable as proxies as Magic became more expensive. People go, I'm not paying $1,000 for a Gaia's Cradle. And it's like, what about this Gaia's Cradle that has a gold border and black back? And they're like, yeah, I'll give you $100 for that. And it's like, what? Like, I'm so old school that I remember that when you bought collections that had those gold border cards, you threw them in the trash. Like, they were garbage. Nobody would buy them. Nobody would use them for anything. Not even proxy. Like, they were nothing. So, now we reach the future where over time, these cards have been accepted in Commander and have this market value. And Wizards of the Coast is looking to muscle in on that. They say, yo, we can say these aren't official Magic cards. We can totally go, this is just a collector's item. But at the same time, we can go, you're going to get way more dual lands and Sol Rings from it, which is exactly what Commander players want. It's for Commander players to use, right? So this exists in the same space as Collector's Edition, which makes the Collector Edition people go, whoa. And there's some of them who are holding it as like a pseudo reserve list, right? They go, okay, I can't afford reserve list pieces, but I bought Collector's Edition stuff because it's like the training wheels version of it. I mean, with Magic prices, they're crazy. It's crazy to even refer to it that way, but really, in the grand scheme of things, the collector versions are the training wheel editions. So these guys now have them and they're going, oh, I thought this was a safe store of value. I got to turn around and sell it. So you have a bunch of people with the same sell impulse to the point where stores are accepting orders, and all of a sudden they start delisting Collector's Edition. Yank it down. We've got to reassess everything. We've agreed to buy these from people at these prices. The entire market is about to shift. If this many people are pushing to sell, it could be a permanent market crash. This stuff could just go and not really recover. Now, the chances of a complete Collector's Edition crash feel pretty unlikely, considering at this point Wizards is going hard on the price tag on this to kind of ensure that it doesn't do that sort of thing. Now, that doesn't mean that in the future they're not going to run this into the ground with a cheaper variation that totally does gut Collector's Edition when they go, we did that version, let's do a re-release that's not a special. It doesn't have the special 30th edition back. Now it just says normal Collector's Edition, and we know that means it's not a special, so it's perfectly fine for us to make this. Like, who knows what's coming. Wizards has to increase their profits by like 50% over 3 years or something like that, according to what Hasbro is aiming to do. So this market craziness, I wouldn't be surprised to see more sell-offs going on. I'm wondering where collector stuff is going to end up after this. It's pretty fascinating. What Wizards is doing across the board is wild. Like, the next item on the list is crazy too. The upcoming Brothers War bundle, specifically the gift bundle, is going to feature foil Transformer cards. So if you buy the gift bundle, you're going to get a foil Transformer card and the 20-sided oversized spin down that comes inside that particular bundle will be Transformers. So we'll have the Transformers icon on the actual spin down die instead of the Brothers War set. So this is the first time where we are seeing another IP take prime position in Brothers War in a way. Do you know what I mean? Like, the Transformer stuff is in the bundles now. Get a premium bundle, get a foil Transformer, and the special Transformer die. Like, it's crazy to me, but this is just the tip, because if you didn't know, Mark Rosewater recently answered a question, and I plan to talk about this more in depth, because it needs to be talked about more in depth. But the short form is, there is so much more Universes Beyond coming that you have no idea. You have literally no concept of it. I talked about it in a live stream last night on my other channel, so I'll leave a link if you want to check that out at the end here, but you have no idea. The amount of Universes Beyond stuff that's coming is insane, and we'll just talk about some of it. I've got some of the stuff on the list that will make it to, because we're still not through all the news, guys. Like I said, they're trying to bury me. I've got to get all this done in time to get down to the event for Infinity, so let's keep on soldiering on. Let's talk about the next problem, which is actually really not that big a problem. It's going to cause Wizards more issue than anything, and that is they messed up with the Warhammer Commander decks, and they put some of the cards in the wrong spot. So basically all it is, a couple of rares that were supposed to be in the main deck chunk will be located in the token section. So they put out a statement hoping that before people contact customer service, they will see that and turn around and go, oh, okay, and just check the tokens. Although I'm guessing this is almost a non-problem, but since Wizards did put out a statement about it, and the decks are literally releasing today, I figured tossing it in to the news update. There's no other place for that. It's a little snippet. So, boom. On to the next thing, which, surprise, surprise, involves the 30th anniversary. I've got so much news I can't even bunch it together right. So, the 30th anniversary, $1,000 60 proxies. Guess what, guys? Wizards of the Code made a special website for it, right? And before the website went live, they have a dummy kind of website address in there. It's not the real address. It is a throwaway, we'll put the real address in here when it's ready. When it's go time and you load it, put in the right address. I'm sure you guys can see where this is going, right? So, they don't change this dummy website address that is in their big, like, hey, you want to come and spend $1,000 and boo-hoo-hoo, click on this link. And then you click on the link and it doesn't take you where Wizards wants it to. It takes you to somebody else bought the link. Somebody else bought the website, purchased that link, and said, you know what, thanks, Wizards. Thanks for redirecting it to me. Now, this kind soul, Wizards is so lucky. Of all the things that you could see, like picture the angriest things you could see Magic fans doing, or just like the grodiest things you could see money-seeking skis bags would do with the link. Instead, somebody basically posted a polite shaming of Wizards for the product. So when you clicked on the link to get more information about advertising the product and get you hyped about it, instead they had a polite condemnation. It's brilliant. Like, how can you look at that in any other way than, well, I'm going to read what this has to say. It's not inflammatory. It's not incendiary. There's nothing offensive in it. It's just, you know what? The level of calm, the maneuver, just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now, I said we're getting crazy with Universes Beyond, because we are. Some of the secret layers that you may or may not have heard of in the last few days that I had to double check were real, because my brain went, wait, did you just say Post Malone secret layer? I mean, they always say congratulations to Post Malone for having his own secret lair. That one, my brain was like, that's fake. That can't be real. Nope, they're doing that. That's real. Assassin's Creed? I'm like, Enzo? Ezio? What was his name again? I'm gonna leap off a tower. What? That can't be. Nope, that's real. Okay, what's next? Final Fantasy. But still my heart. Is that real? Oh, it's real? All right. So, I mean, there is that mixed bag of universes beyond. If Wizards of the Coast ever manages to get Legends of Zelda or like the 80s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something like that, I will be slapping the walls like a ridiculous otter. Let's be real. But there is a cavalcade of universes beyond coming, my friends. You don't even know. Just today, they got, spoilers, all the stuff for the secret layers for Warhammer came out as well. Secret Lair Orcs, Secret Lair Age of Sigmar, Secret Lair Blood Bowl. All of that stuff. Actually, my buddy MTG Unpacked already opened it today. So if you want to see it opened, you can go and check that out. And if you do, say hello to him for me. All right? Now, that wraps up all of the news that I have time to tell you about today. That's not all the news. That's just all the time I have. So let me know what you're more interested in hearing about out of what I talked about. If there's other news that's going on that I haven't heard about, let me know in the comments. You can email me. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. I got the Discord. Let me know because I can't keep up with the flow, yo, and it's time to go. So big thank you to my patrons for being the best people on the planet. I will share my immortality with all of you, and we shall reign over the earth forevermore. And to the rest of you, hey, thanks for coming by, and I will see all of you next time.